What's up? What's going on? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? My peeps, my peoples, we are in the building, peep squad. What's going on? Happy Saturday to each and every one of y'all. Let's get down to the situation. As you guys know, Bobby Brown has a documentary. We're going to talk about his biography documentary that he does have on A&E. I got a glimpse of, a whole episode. And then on top of that, Bobby Brown has a new show, Bobby Brown Every Little Step I Take, okay? And it's on A&E, and it's just some things that look kind of weird on the show. Like, I was really crying. I can't stand myself sometimes. I was crying. Like, the show is sad and it's very joyous as well. But we're going to get down to it. But also, when it comes to Bobby Brown's wife, Alicia, in his documentary, he said Whitney Houston was the love of his life. And that was it. And then that's when he ended up getting married to Alicia. The same year Whitney Houston died. He said, I thought me and Whitney was always going to get back together. Like, he already had that set up in his mind that him and Whitney Houston was going to get back together because they break up to make up. But in any event, once she passed, he knew that, okay, I got to move on. I need something. And he was down in his luck. He was down all the way, point blank, period. And then Alicia, basically they got married in the same year that Whitney Houston died. So he basically married her because there was going to be no more Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. And that's what he wanted, even though they were separated at the time and things of that nature. And Bobby has said that Whitney Houston will still be here if, they didn't get a divorce, but she wasn't sober. And clearly, if you watch this show, Bobby is halfway sober, okay? He's not, clean like that. You know what I mean? We're going to we're going to even talk about Bobby, son bringing it up that my dad drinks a lot less now. You know what I mean? Like, come on, like his, I'm just like, this is crazy. I'm just like, wow. Whew. But in any event, and it also seems when it comes down to Alicia, which is Bobby Brown's wife, it's like she takes cheap shots at him and she treats him like a child and a kid. Maybe she might have been frustrated throughout their marriage because of his addictions, and maybe he was a towards her. But the way that she talks about him, the way she makes fun of him and his disabilities due to drug addiction, and then have the kids laugh at him and then joke on him, like, it's like, he doesn't take any cheap shots at her. He doesn't joke on her. He doesn't question anything about her. She questions everything about him, which she needs to do. But at the same time, it's like doing it in front of the children, that he's not really, the adult. And then the torture of, he needs a lifestyle change totally and completely. And his wife acts like she's on board with it. And she's basically taunting him to tell him he needs to get it right. He needs to get it together and things of that nature, which is true. But how are you going to do that in a household where everything's available to him, and then you're basically advertising things in his face that are not good for him? Like, if you really want him to be here, that means the whole family has to have a lifestyle change. And even though it sucks for the kids, it sucks for you. But if you really want him around, then that means everything has to change, not just for TV and a documentary. And it almost seems like, Alicia it's like this is Bobby Brown's situation. Like, okay, this is, his last reality TV show was with his wife, and now we're gonna have one with his second wife. It almost seems like she's competing with Whitney, and baby, you can never compete where you don't compare. You got the leftovers, you got the picked up pieces off of Bobby Brown, and if he was never married to Whitney Houston, and if he would have never had Bobby Kristina with Whitney Houston, do you think he would get another TV show? Come on, no. Question is no. He's the only man that Whitney Houston confessed her love to, loved, and had a baby with. Okay? And then she declared him the king of R&B. All right? So that's, it's Whitney Houston people that's still keeping Bobby alive. Bobby has a lot of fans, and clearly when you watch the documentary, it's very different towards the show. And the documentary, he's more, in tune with himself, and you can tell how very smart he is, and you can understand that he didn't get to where he's at as far as being a hit star, a hit singer, and things of that nature because he was dumb. No, because he was smart. But when you see him with his wife, it's just like she's letting us know that this man is sick. He can barely do anything. And then she hits him with a tennis ball. Then she smacks him in the back of the head, and then the kids start smacking him. And then, she makes fun because he can't move around, or he's falling asleep because he's sick, he's ill, he got all types of dysfunction going on. And this is his wife doing this on national TV. Like, this is crazy. Okay? And the Bobby Brown that we have seen, would have a clap back. He don't have a clap back. He don't have nothing back unless he's doing it off camera, y'all. But in any event, you guys let me know what you think about the situation. We're going to get into the show. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. My peeps, my peoples, Peep Squad is in the building. I love each and every one of y'all. What's going on? Hey, Miss Nina Bug, how you doing? Hi, Mary Jane, not fond of Bobby Brown. I know. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? How you doing? My daughter. Oh, you already know this. You already know that there's some things that ain't kosher about him, point blank, period. And that's why I say maybe the years that Alicia has put up with Bobby make her this cold towards him. But at the same time, why I don't understand why Bobby would marry her and the same year that Whitney died, because he wanted to escape. He was very vulnerable and to what she wanted him to do, because she's his manager. And she's been his manager for 10 years. Hey, Abso, what's up? What's going on? I mean, used to take care. Oh, don't worry about it, girl. She got happy, sloppy brows. Yeah. So, so you have that situation as well. We know, Bobby Brown ain't no angel, baby. And that's for sure. But we're gonna get into it. And this is part of the documentary. So I have to watch the other 2-part series of the documentary. But the reality TV show that he does have, I've been watching. And so at one point in time, Bobby Brown and his wife Alicia, they go visit, Whitney Houston and Bobby Kristina's gravesite. And this is the first time that Bobby ever been there. He kissed the gravesite. He's sorry that he hasn't been there. He wished he was. And Bobby said that when Bobby Kristina passed on, Whitney Houston came to him and told him that he needs to let her go. And as, Bobby was sitting there filming for A&E, the documentary or the biography, he basically was saying, Whitney Houston is here right now. I can feel her, so he's letting us know that he's still in tune. He's still connected to Whitney Houston, or it could be a money grab for TV. But in any event, the way that it's being the documentary and the reality TV show, it almost seems like this is a farewell to Bobby Brown. Like, he's so sick, he's so helpless. Alicia says he can't even, he wouldn't even be able to tie his shoes. It's just like, oh my God. Like, what's going on? So in any event, like, why would Bobby marry her the same year that Whitney Houston died? I know why she married him the same year Whitney Houston died, because she can get a hold of Bobby Brown. Not now she has control over Bobby. Bobby's lost. Bobby thought that him and Whitney Houston was going to get back together no matter if he was out here in these streets doing this and that. He thought one day that their love would bring them back together, because that's what they told each other. That's what they said to one another. And that's how they both felt. But, for him to, marry this woman in the same year that Whitney died, and we know she wants to be connected to it, to 2012. Actually, Whitney died in February 11th, 2012, and then Bobby Brown married Alicia in 2012 of June. So, how does Bobby think that his daughter was going to take that? Bobby Kristina, doesn't he think that played a factor, and why that Bobby Kristina was able to be manipulated and turned against him? Because her mother just passed, and you just going to marry a woman in the same year? It hasn't even been a year. It hasn't even been 6 months. It haven't even been 7 months, and you're already marrying this woman after my mama died. So therefore, anything that anybody that told Bobby Kristina against her father, of course she was going to believe it. And suffering that tragic loss and then marrying her. And why? And it's just like Alicia wanted to be the second half. You know what I mean? It's like she wanted to be the second half. Like she wanted to throw it. Okay, I got him now. It's like she got him at his most vulnerable state, that he was already doing, he was already strung out. And then on top of that, losing Whitney, and then being estranged from his daughter. And now she comes in, I'm gonna save you. And she says, I told him I would manage him, but he gonna have to show up on time. He gonna have to do what he's supposed to do, because if he don't, my name is on the line. Bobby Brown couldn't even tie his own shoes and be somewhere on time. What type of damn wife talks about her husband like that in his documentary? What kind of crap is that, y'all? Okay, and so they go visit Bobby Kristina grave, and it's like she's got a beautiful grave and everything, but it's just really sad watching it. I mean, like, I was crying. I can't stand myself. And then Bobby talks about the funeral, and we know the story. He was turned away. He didn't have an entourage full of people. That really hurt him. That really hurt his ego. That really just hurt him and his children as well. But at the same time, so he walked away and he left. You know what I mean? What else was he supposed to do? We would say that, you know what, I'll stand outside until they bring the casket out, and I see Bobby Kristina tell her, I'm here for you, I love you, blah blah blah, and all that other good stuff. There's a lot of things that he failed in, and also Alicia if it wasn't for Alicia, I don't think Bobby would be alive, unless he found someone really better than her to actually really pick him up. But he needed her, you know what I mean? And I think the relationship is a need basis. I don't think that he can live the comfortable life that he does have if he didn't have Alicia, and he's so scared to go back to that other life because he's still addicted, to these things. And he's still recently, his kids are saying that he's still drinking, you know what I mean? And he has to take a breathalyzer test before he even takes off. And then when he takes off with his children, he got to breathe in the breathalyzer as well. And it's for a recent, DUI that he caught a couple of years ago. So this was a sad situation, and Bobby explains how much he was hurt, how much it tore him up. But and this, like, you can see Bobby looking comfortable. You can see Bobby talking. Bobby is expressing himself like a man supposed to, and also a well thought out a man with knowledge. But when he's on a reality TV show, it's just like he's just there. He's just there, and he's letting his wife take full control over that and do whatever she wants with that situation. And I don't believe he has it in him to do even more, because she talks about his heart attack. He tells us about his heart attack, and he had 2 heart attacks, and he has 2 stents in his heart. He got a bum neck, he got a bum knee, but she hits him in the head with a tennis ball. Okay, so you have that situation. And so he's talking about, in this moment, he's talking about Whitney Houston and her being the love of his life. And that was just murder, it wrote. And then Alicia came along, And this is when she describes him like he better, he couldn't even tie his shoe. I'm putting my name on the line. I thought you loved this man. No, she didn't love this man. And then and he was like, oh, she loved me from the very moment, and I was attracted to her, and she was attracted to me, and then we just came together, even though they knew each other for 30 years. And when it comes to Bobby Brown's sister, Leola, I think that's her name, but she says that this woman was a groupie. She was around with Guy, this and that, and she always tried to get with Bobby, and Bobby did not want her. But in this particular documentary, and her talking about Bobby, she said that she was never attracted to Bobby. She said she never wanted Bobby like that at all. She said he grew on her. And Bobby said, yeah, she loved me. She was always around, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, I don't even know what got me with him. I think it was voodoo. Like, who speaks like that when people are asking you, how did you fall in love? How was it? She said it was voodoo that was put on me to be with him. And she was like, I was never into him. And it was like, I wasn't never attracted to him. I never thought like him being attractive. She said over the years, she grew fond of him. Like, what? Like, are you kidding me? Like, what's going on? Jeez. Oh, A&E. Okay. Yeah, that's shady to be saying that. That is real shady. For real, for real. But, okay, so we get to that. So, we're on that situation. And I just think it was weird that the love of his life passed and he knew it in 2012. And then she marries him in 2012, months after Whitney passing. Come on. And so, they show the wedding photos, them getting married. And she said some other things when it comes to skin tone and mixed babies. And she's really proud of the mixed baby situation. There's no reason not to be, but I think I don't think she's too happy that Bobby Brown's oldest daughter, La Princia, married a white man. And she was like, oh, you're gonna have the little mixy babies, because she's not gonna have the only mixed babies in the Brown family, okay? And so so Bobby talks about how Bobby Kristina was so distant, and she had Gordon that come in her life, and then also having the Houstons. And he said he was very upset to see Bobby Kristina on TV after Whitney passed, because she wasn't ready for that. That was too soon. But it was like he was somewhere watching. He said that, the family turned her against me, but it wasn't hard to do. If her mother died in February and you marry another woman in June, and she don't see you, and you ain't around, and you ain't there, and you ain't pulling up, and you ain't renting apartments, that's near her, or, catching her, like, you got the money to do these things if you really cared. But at the same time, when it comes to Bobby Brown's sister, Leola, she basically says that he was kept away from his children. And you can tell in the show, Bobby Brown, every little step I take, he's gotten better with his kids, but there still has been distance. And I believe that after Bobby Kristina passing, he tried to get closer to his child. But also with Bobby Brown Jr. dying, his sister said that he was stranded out in California. He didn't have food. He didn't have money. He didn't have a place to stay. And she was helping him because his wife Alicia didn't want his children around. And Bobby Brown seems like he's in prison some of the times with his wife, because if he feels like if he makes a move against her, in my opinion, that the happiness and the peace and the calmness of life will all disappear, because he's not totally strung out, you know what I mean? And he's not healthy at all, where, it would be shocking if he could, it's shocking that he can even be up on stage as he was at the Versus. So he said this was very sad to him. And then he watched on TV when she had a attack where Bobby Kristina, she ended up having a panic attack, or, anxiety attack, things of that nature in her system. And he's seen it, but he couldn't do nothing. He couldn't reach out to her, because at this point, their relationship was over, because people turned, her against him. He could have did more, and he didn't. And I think he lives with that guilt as well. And that's why he's not combative or really speaking up for himself when it comes to his wife Alicia, because he don't want to lose no more kids. He already lost two and a wife, an ex-wife. And so they show the Instagram video where you can see Bobbi Kristina. She's in a hotel room and she's with Gordon, and Bobbi said they was never married. He was a pretend brother that became a relationship, and he was no good, and which we all knew. But and clearly in this Instagram video that they had posted, she looked at really bad. Like, she looked like she was strung out. It looked like she was on drugs for a long time when she did this, face-to-face time with her father. And she was open to seeing him. But at this time, she moved away from the Houstons, and Gordon had most of the control over her. And so, so after they had this FaceTime, Bobbi had planned for her to come down to California where he was, so she can spend time with her brothers and sisters that he has with Alicia, and basically, do the things that, father and daughter. And he was like, we had kind of reconnected. We kind of like made up. Everything was good. And he said before he knew it, he was rehearsing, and then he got the call. This is the night before she was supposed to come and see him, that, she was in a coma. Sorry, my allergies are here. Again, the pollen is very high. I'm telling you, yes, it's crazy. For real. Alicia is loving she's loving the new attention. Oh, she's loving this attention. You could tell, like, she looks like Giselle, you know what I mean, from Real Housewives of Potomac. So in any event, so now you have this situation where he's rehearsing, and then he finds out that his daughter's been rushed to a hospital. She's in a coma, induced coma. So he rushed to the hospital, and he said he stayed there every day and every night. And Alicia, she was like, yep, I was there right along with him. And so he was there, and then, he made a decision to, pull the plug because Whitney Houston told him to. That's what he says. And this is Bobby Brown outside of the emergency room. He said he never left the emergency room. He stayed there the whole time. He was all messed up behind the situation. Oh, thank you, Absol. Hey, what's up, Kathleen? What's going on? So, you have that situation. I mean, it was just this whole situation is just sad. And so, then, Gordon, he ended up passing away, and the other person in the room when Bobbi Kristina had passed, they all passed away. All three of the friends passed away, and an extra friend. They were all together doing drugs for some years, and it was 4 of them, and they all dead. Every single one of them. And that's sad. Then Bobby talks about his son, Bobby Brown Jr., and they have a going away from, a little ceremony for Bobby Brown Jr., and it's just sad. Oh, it's just sad. And look at Alicia. She's ain't nobody in that picture smiling. Look at Alicia smiling. I just noticed that. Look at this. They're sending. Here we go. They're sending, like, they're lighting up candles, sending balloons away for Bobby Brown Jr. that you guys know recently passed because of an overdose. No one is smiling here. Why is Alicia smiling? Why is she smiling? Bobby ain't smiling. Look at all the men in the picture. They ain't smiling. Even the white man, his son-in-law, I think his name is Eddie. Eddie's not even smiling. Only person even the lady in the back ain't smiling. Only person that's smiling is Alicia. Alicia's the only person that's smiling. She took that mask off, baby, to let us know that she's out here smiling. So, so they had the whole situation, which was really tragic. Losing 2 kids. I don't even know what to say or do about that situation. I mean, that's just tragic all the way around, and knowing that you possibly could have helped your daughter, but you didn't. And Bobby Brown's living with a lot of regret. And so this is Bobby right here. So before Bobby can get into the car, he has to take this breathalyzer test, whatever it's called. And then as he's driving on the road, because they think that, okay, he get in the car, he take the breathalyzer test, lies test, he might have a bottle and he drinking and be driving. So therefore, if he's in the car, he has to take, I guess they time it out how many times, he has to take the test while he's behind the wheel. So this is Bobbi right in the middle of the TV. You know what I mean? So it's probably hard for her to deal with Bobbi as well. So he has to take this breathalyzer test, in the midst of driving, so he's not all the way, clean like that, clean and sober. And this is his son, Cassius, that is with Alicia. And this is where he says, I'm really proud of my father because he's not drinking every day, or he's not drinking so frequently. He didn't say my father stopped drinking. I'm just proud that he's not drinking all the time like he used to drink. So basically, he's still drinking in the house. Okay? And with his health issues, the last thing Bobbi need is liquor. I mean, it's almost like they got the casket out waiting for this man. So in any event, this is what his son says, and he says he's proud of his father, but his son Cassius, he's a good kid, he's a good entertainer, and I think he knows about his father's past, maybe from TV and shows or being told, but he does know about his other siblings passing, and he's still really hurt behind it. You can tell because he brings up Bobby Brown Jr. that recently passed at the wedding and said, he gave me his watch. I'm holding on to his watch, and he just started crying and hugging his older sister, La Princia, and started hugging her. So I think that they don't talk about the death as much, because it's hard for Bobbi, but I think the other two daughters, the other two kids that Bobbi has with Alicia, they're too young to really understand, or it's not on their radar, but it's definitely on this young man's radar, and he definitely needs the counseling. His kids speak so very well. They talk so very well. You could tell that their educational background, the schooling and the training that they're receiving is magnificent. They're in dance, they're in sports, they're in a lot of different things, which is great. But this kid is clearly knows a whole lot. He knows something's going on with his dad. He knows his dad's health's not good. But at the same time, he's a kid. What is he supposed to do? And I think he wants to express, and he's really proud of his father. He loves his father. He wants to be in his shadow. He wants the praise and the glory from his father as well. But at the same time, I know he knows that his father is not well. But in any event, and that was sad too, because you could see the kid almost, and then also with Cassius, you can see that his mother is trying to have him become a star. Like, not, and once Bobby Brown is put here, it almost seems like she's saying, Cassius, you're next. And he wants to be next, but at the same time, I just think there's a lot more going on with this kid. And the mother, Alicia, she's so busy on which kid she's going to promote or manage next, because, Bobby can only do so much at this time, especially with his health, in my opinion. So moving on from that situation, it's just really sad. Bobby talks about his kids. He cries. It's just like, oh boy. And then this is Eddie. Eddie is the white dude from Rhode Island that is marrying La Princia, and he says some weird stuff to Bobbi, like, when I asked your daughter to marry me, I got a ring from the 7-Eleven, and then I said to her, and then she mouthed MILF on me, like, and he was like, oh my God, like, why are you talking like this? And Bobby was really pretty heated. That's why you see him looking at his son Landon, and Landon, kind of corrects him a little bit, because Bobby was like, if this was the old Bobby, you already know homeboy wouldn't have been speaking like that. He wouldn't have been thinking all that. The way he was talking was cute, because he was like, yo, don't you think it's kind of like kind of disrespect to describe my daughter like that? And then Landon comes in and he says, oh my God, like, if somebody describe my daughter like that, and so the dude is laughing. He thinks it's a big joke. He has no clue that he got the good Bobby Brown. He got the Bobby Brown that can't really breathe when he walks, and so now we get to this part where they're asking La Princia, is she ready to have a baby? She's gonna have the baby, and she was like, hold on, slow your brakes. And then this is when Bobby Brown's wife says excuse me, she says, oh, you're going to have the little mixies. You're going to have the little mixies. And I was like, oh my God, that's kind of inappropriate for her to say you're going to have the little mixies because, Bobby only has the mixies with her. And this is her mother standing on the other side of her. This is, I think that's her mother. Oh, we already seen a picture of her mother anyway, but this either could be, Eddie's mom or her mom, but in any event, you're gonna have the little mixies. And everybody was just looking, and then Eddie turns around and he says something weird. I didn't understand it. He says something as he says something weird that was just like, okay, it don't sound right. He said something like, oh, it's like the Avon situation, because now he started to joke about, the mixies, and he's the only one that saw the joke in it. Nobody really, he said, Alicia said mixies, and Eddie says half black, the Avon route. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what he meant by saying half black, the Avon route. I don't know what that means. And then Eddie basically jokes about living out of a box with his wife to Bobby. Bobby was like, yo, listen, you ain't gonna never live out of a box with my wife. He was like, well, I'll make it real fancy. It'll be a fancy box with a window. And Bobby was like, there's no way you're gonna ever be living with my daughter in a box or any type of box. Okay. So I don't know what he meant about that situation. It was kind of like weird. He says half black, we're going that Avon route. I don't know. Do you guys know what that means? Because I was at loss. What's up, LA? How you doing? What's going on, Gina? She's cheesing. Hey, Florida girl. Oh, he got asthma and all types of stuff. She is pushing all the kids. Yes, baby. And we're going to get to where she really pushes Bobby out the way and throw the kids up front and cut him off and really disrespect him. She already been disrespecting him. So she's like, the little mixies. You said we're going to have some little mixies running around. It's like, what? Who speaks like that? And so this is, Bobby Brown's son-in-law now, Eddie. They got married in Rhode Island. And it was a beautiful wedding. But then the torture of the situation is Bobby's supposed to be sober. So now I believe Bobby said that, he's so glad that he don't have to pay no more money out of his pocket. I believe usually the father pays for the wedding, of the daughter. So I don't know if he paid for most of the wedding. I believe he must have did. But, there's so much liquor around. And then his daughter comes up to him, LaPrincia, was like, Dad, I think they're screwing me on my drinks. I think they're watering down my drinks. And she was like, Daddy, taste it. And then Bobby had to stop. Nope. He was about to taste it. And then the daughter said, no, Daddy, don't taste it. And then everybody around him is drinking. They're in a bar. Like, this man's life is on the line. If you hear Bobby was shaking parts of the episode. You could hear him. He could barely bend down. He could barely move. Like, yo. Whew, and they're gonna put the alcohol all up in his face. If you really want somebody to live and survive, people gonna have to suffer. You know what I mean? I know it's his fault that he's addicted, but I'm trying to tell you, it would be like this. This is a sober wedding. Bring your own fliss. Bring your own cup. Hide it. I don't want to see it. And it sucks because why should anybody have to deal with, his issues? But if I'm paying for it and he's paying for it and he's my husband, we're going to be a part of it. We'll be there for a while. Then we leave and then you guys could drink if you really want to save a mother sucker's life. You already seen him with the breathalyzer. Like, he really has to, put this thing in his mouth. I'm just like, Lord, what is going on? Like, what is happening? And so, moving on from that situation, it was a beautiful wedding. And he was there and Bobby just broke down because it was like, he was so happy. He never thought that he'll be walking his daughter down the aisle. But it also brings memories of, Bobby, Kristina, and then also wanting to know if he's going to be around for his other two daughters that he has. And then, this is where they offer him a drink and he's in a bar. He's struggling. Why is he in a bar? Like, he's struggling. Like, yo. And so now this is, the groom and whoever, and he got a Biggie Small t-shirt on. I was like, he from Boston. And so, So they're getting prepared, to get ready to walk down the aisle. And so Bobby's like, I need a drink. Like, this is hard. Like, Bobby's like struggling. He's like, I need a drink. I need a drink. And so then Eddie, his son-in-law, says, oh, there's a bar right there. So the bar was actually like 3 feet away from Bobby. So Bobby's in the dressing room getting dressed, and there's a bar there. I know the other people shouldn't suffer for it. And he was about to take the drink. They said that he didn't take the drink, but he goes, nah, I'm not gonna drink. I'm not gonna drink because that's gonna be messed up if I do that. So he didn't. So on the show it says that he didn't drink, but the bar was actually 2 feet away from him. I'm just like, this is just torture, and like, what's going on in this situation? Like, what's going on really? And so, you have that. And I was like, the husband, the son-in-law, he's really weird. But, she's happy. And let me get somewhere else. And so this is where, when it comes to Bobby's wife, Alicia, she goes, he relapsed because he has suffered so much trauma and things of that nature. So, she talks about this is not easy for him and blah, blah, blah. So this is the moment where she kind of like comforts him a little bit, which makes me think that he did drink at the wedding, because right after the wedding scene, we go to her saying that the reason why Bobby has relapsed so many times is because he done had a lot of trauma in his life and things of that nature. And so to me, it almost seemed like he did relapse while he was attending his daughter's wedding. But I'm not sure. But the way that she comes in, she says this, and Bobby looks sad again, I'm just like, OMG. And so Bobby, and then at this moment, Bobby says that, now Bobby has to lose weight so he could perform a 40-city tour with New Edition and things of that nature. So now they're preparing for this. And he said, I don't want to be the only big guy on the stage. And then she goes, and then Alicia follows in, every little heavy step I take. Like, why are you dissing him like that? Then she also says, he says, I don't want to be the only big guy on stage. She goes, yeah, every little heavy step I take. Like, yo, she's straight disrespecting him. So it almost seems like when Bobby Brown's sister is speaking on their relationship and what she thinks about what's actually happening and going on with their relationship, it kind of validates what his sister Leola is actually saying about the situation. Okay, Black Love, what did you say, Bobby? Oh, yeah, Bobby still loves her. Like, he only married her because he was vulnerable, because, he said she's the love of his life, and he was like, the love of my life is gone, so I end up, he ended up getting with Alicia within, marrying her within like 4 months after Whitney passed, because he knew that they never was going to be together. How's your Black Love? I'm telling you. Yeah, I mean, like, but also what Leola is saying about how, when Bobby broke his leg, you remember she said, yo, they trying to hurt my brother, and she was on Facebook. Well, I don't know if Bobby broke his leg because he was intoxicated, but the way we're gonna get to her, like, putting her hands on him and stuff, like, if Bobby did any of these things that she's doing to him, it would be like murder out here, for real, for real. So, in any event, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated. You guys can go back in the beginning of the video. You're going to see Bobby is still, taking these tests for alcoholism. So his daughter does get married. She looks so beautiful, and you could just feel the brokenness and the hurt that they're actually happy, but so much tragic things have happened that they're holding on, and they needed their father, like, Bobby Kristina needed instead of him getting married to Alicia and Alicia thinking that's appropriate for him to get married and not chase down, his daughter and basically be surrounded by her and making sure that she's okay, because the person that was her primary caregiver and mother was Whitney Houston. Whitney might not have been the greatest mother, but that was who his daughter trusted. And Whitney didn't trust everybody around her daughter like that. You know what I mean? At the beginning, she was very standoffish. And so, I don't know why he think marrying her, like he couldn't see that, this was going to push him further away from his family. Because it's like, boy, what you doing? You don't love this woman and all this other good stuff, And so when it comes to the wedding, you have Bobby Brown's son, Cassius. He basically pulls out his brother's watch, Bobby Brown Jr., and he goes, I'm carrying the ring in my coat pocket, but I'm also carrying Bobby Brown Jr.'s watch. And then he just starts crying. So, he's not able to express the loss that he feels, because he expressed it right there at that moment. That's the awkward moment, a loving moment as well. And she just grabbed, he was like, I'm so sorry, but he wants to express how he feels about the loss. And I don't think that he's able to express it like that. And I think Bobby's only expressing it because, he's allowed to for TV and for a paycheck, in my opinion. So, what's up, Ralph? What's going on? Yes, please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. So you have that situation. And Bobby looks absolutely handsome. He looks nice. His daughter looks absolutely amazing. Amazing wedding dress. Amazing everything. Like the whole venue. There was no drama. There was no like dumb stuff happening. It was all good. Only thing is having all the alcohol around someone that is struggling with alcoholism, And, so I just find it really hard, with that situation. Like, where's the care? Where's the love? And does he deserve any care, or does he deserve any love from his kids or from Alicia because of the life he lived? Is he paying, for the things that he has done and the people that he has hurt through this, and not being physically able to really defend himself in so many different words? And you got Bobby, he's dancing with his wife. Everything was nice, but it was just surrounded by alcohol. So there is like a altar, that has his son and has his daughter. This is in his house. This was at the wedding too as well. Why wouldn't his mother's not up there? His father's not up there. Whitney Houston's not up there. Deep down, Bobby will have Whitney Houston picture up there. Why don't he have her picture up there? Because the wife don't want her picture up there. The wife don't want his mother's. Allegedly, this is coming from Leona, that Alicia did Bobby Brown's mother and father really dirty. That's what she said. I did a video on it. You guys could check it out. It's on my channel. But so, And it is deserving just to have his kids there so he can focus on that. But Bobby is the type of person who will have everybody picture up there. And I don't know if this altar is still up in his house, or was it just for TV. So you guys let me know what you think about that situation. And then also when it comes to it's on 50. When it comes to Alicia, she basically was sitting there and she was feeling a certain type of way because she was asked basically, how do you feel about, being compared to Whitney Houston, or people always talking about Bobby Brown's first wife? And she said the words of, that she really doesn't like it like that. It could be combative, or it could be intrusive, or it could be obtuse. Or, she used a word that I just can't think of the name of the 5-letter word that she used. And she said, but we're living in the here. She said, it is what it is, but we're living in the here and now, and I'm his wife. And with her saying that, and Bobby having this reality TV show, she saw how successful the reality TV shows were, Bobby Brown and Whitney. The show's never going to be that successful because it was Whitney Houston, girl. And you should be happy that people still remember and respect Bobby and want to do projects with him, because he's talking about Whitney Houston. He's talking about Bobby, Kristina, Kristina. That's the biggest tragedy in a long time, that we see mother and daughter gone. You know what I mean? And Bobbi's like, other than the Houstons, Bobbi's like that link to them that that was so close that people would still want to hear what he have to say. Maybe he might say something different. If he wasn't with Whitney Houston or had Bobbi Kristina, these guys wouldn't be on A&E right now, okay? So be thankful. And then when people see your kids and goes, oh, that's Bobby Brown kids. Wasn't he married to Whitney Houston? Just take it. It is what it is. I know she deserves her credit, because I think that Bobby would not be here if she did not help him. You know, if it wasn't for her. If it wasn't for her, Bobby wouldn't be here, because she treats him just like he is her child. Okay? And when he said, I don't want to be the only big guy on stage, she turned around and she said, oh, every little heavy step I take. I was like, damn. And Bobby didn't even respond. And then she goes, then Bobby said, the last tour that I was on, 2 months before the tour, he had a heart attack. And Bobby said that he had 2 heart attacks. He had a bum knee, he has a bum neck, he has a bum back. He's just, everything. And then it's like he's really out of breath. Like if he bends down, it's like, whoa. Like, it's one of them situations where Bobby just sounds like he's congestive. Sounds like he has so much phlegm and fluid all around his heart and in his lungs that it just sounds and then his movement just really oh my God. It's like, and she's pointing out all these things and she's saying, well, we got to get help. Like what's been happening the last 3 years? Why is he in such worse shape? If you his manager and his wife, you know what I mean? So you're his handler. Okay, so in any event, when it comes to Bobby's son Cassius, he's a real sweetheart. He dances with his sister, and you could see that after Bobbi Kristina, maybe a year or 2 after, Bobby really started to get closer to his children. Not all the way close, but a lot more closer. And Bobby Brown, he cries, and then he's crying because he sees his daughter dancing. His daughter and his son dancing together, and he's crying. He said, I'm crying tears of joy, I'm crying tears of happiness. And she goes, oh, he's a big crybaby. He cries at everything. He even cries at commercials. I was like, why is she reading this man down like this? But she does it so nice. When she throws shade, it's so nice. She's smiling, she's giggling. She looks just like Giselle when she's throwing shade, but she's a better reader than Giselle. But she's throwing the shade and everything. I'm just like, this is crazy. But please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Please like the video. Please like the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. So in any event, so she throws that shade at him. He goes, yeah, I cry all the time. It's like, girl, why you gotta shade this man like this? So, she's shading him. I'm just like, So she's shading him, and I'm just like, wow. And, she talks about, you need to get healthy, you need to get better. Like, but what has he been doing this whole time? And she was like, you got to take the stress test, you got to take these tests. She's reminding him of his failures, and he's trying to, move forward. She was like, you remember in 2016, you was taking a stress test, and then you had a heart attack, then you couldn't finish the tour, then it was over, I was just like, okay, I just really want you to be healthy, okay? Like, we want you here be more than we want you on stage performing the tour. Then why is he going on tour when he can't even, bend over or do all these things that you are accusing him of he can't do? And then on top of that, he's performing he's performing in shows, one show here, one show there. And that's why his oldest son, Landon, is, going to be auditioning. So he's still working, okay? And you're supposed to be his manager and his wife. You're supposed to be managing his life, baby. So she says this to him. I'm just like, whoa. And like, what? And she said something else that's real shady. I'm trying to see if I can find it. I did write it down somewhere. When she said he couldn't tie his own shoes and show up on time, I was like, girl, you were really dissing this man. You don't. It's like Bobby is a chore. Then she hits his stomach, and she's like, oh, this big old pop belly, this big old belly. She's hitting on it, and she's smacking his stomach. Like, to me, if a man does that to a woman, smacking her stomach, oh, I like this big old belly, people would take offense to that. But, She's out here just reading her husband like it ain't nobody's business. And so now they're out playing tennis. Bobby couldn't even really hit the tennis ball. He couldn't really swing the thing. He couldn't really bend over. He was out of breath. So they was playing tennis. And then she turns around and she aims and she hits him in the head with the tennis ball. And he's like, oh, I'm stopping. He grabs his head. And mind you, he's coughing. He's choking. He's out of breath. He's talking about his knees. And she was just like, you got to get in shape. So it's just like, yo, if Bobby disappears, it's like, okay. Look at all these health issues that he does have. And so she hits him in it. She said, I wasn't aiming for your tennis. She said, I wasn't aiming for your head. And this is where, she says, I didn't really hit him that hard. It wasn't like I hit him that hard. And he was like, oh, well, you wasn't the one that got hit. And that's the first time, like, he actually respond to something, harsh or something insensitive that she was saying to Bobby. So she hit him in the head. Imagine if he took the tennis racket and the tennis ball, and when you making your serve, the way that she made the serve, it was to me, it was directly aiming for him. Okay. Well, I guess you're supposed to do that in tennis, and it's just like she just laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing that she hit him in the head with the tennis ball. He's grabbing his head. He tells her it did hurt. You just didn't get hit from it because you're not sure you're going to get hit from it. He probably could barely see the tennis ball coming because he had on that hat, and he could barely even do anything while he was there, and he was trying to do cardio. She's like, this is where you got to do cardio. This is where you got to do that. But he's been sitting up in the house with you. So therefore, like, why all of a sudden now you worried about his cardio and everything? Okay. Because there's money on the line or you need a storyline. But she hit him in the head with that tennis ball. I was like, in my opinion. So in any event, moving on from that, he talks about his friend Ricky, and Ricky, is his sober partner, and Ricky's been clean for 2 years, or he's been clean for 2 years. And so therefore, you have one of them situations going on. But so he's doing his thing. He's working out. His son Landon has more of a relationship with him now, but he says that he still wants to build his relationship with his father because it's still not all the way there. So we shall see what's going to happen in the future. He's with his young son Cassius, and Cassius wants to be a dancer. Cassius loves his father. He wants to be like his father, but at the same time, he does respect his father as well. And so now you have Alicia basically talking about him getting Bobby Brown getting on a diet and eating well and doing these type of things, but yet she takes him out to a sushi bar and he's eating all this hot spicy food that he shouldn't be eating. But at the same time, you're talking about his cardio and this, and now he's eating. Now they're at the restaurant eating this. She takes him to the restaurant to eat this, and he's eating that. So is there really any concern about his health and his eating? And so it's just like, oh, Lord, have mercy. So in any event, this is when Alicia, she brings up the situation again about his health and him not being able to complete the tour, and she wants him here. She doesn't care if he performs with New Edition for the 40 city tour. The kids just want him home. But at the same time, he's still performing out here. So if he's not healthy to perform, why is he performing in the first place? So in any event, he promised to get the stress test to make sure he's all right. But if that's the case, why are you guys eating this bad food sitting right here when you're talking about his stress test, his stent in his heart, his blood pressure, and all these things of that nature? So I'm just like, Lord, So then moving on from that situation, the kids and the family, they're getting together, they're playing Scrabble. And so Bobby's supposed to be on this strict diet. Guess what? She's serving pizza with ham, pepperoni pizza and everything. So he's supposed to be eating well, but yet we're having a big ass pizza. We're going to eat all this bad food. We're going to continue the bad habit of bad eating with the children and with Bobby when supposedly his life is on the line and he's not healthy. And the man could barely do anything. So it's a lifestyle change, and the people that live with you, especially if you married and kids, something that they're gonna have to be involved in. So in any event, now they're eating pizza, and so Bobby's supposed to eat a salad. So this salad got ham. When the last time is swine healthy for you? And all this, when is cheese healthy for you? This is not a healthy salad. Like what's going on? So he's supposed to be, he got hot peppers and all types of beans. None of this stuff is good. So he might as well just ate the pizza, so like this salad that he's eating and so now the kids are eating, she's eating the pizza, and he's the odd man out eating the unhealthy salad. He might as well just ate the pizza. And so Bobby Brown I thought this was pretty interesting when he talks about, the diaper pants and how he made them famous. But, his friend came along, MC Hammer, and MC Hammer basically asked Bobby Brown if he could start wearing diaper pants, and he said yeah. And then MC Hammer took the diaper pants somewhere else. So that's the situation. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And so Bobby right here, he's having a conversation with his son Landon about Landon actually being on the tour, not the tour, but do this show that Bobby's about to do, and he has to get in line with the backup singers, and he wants to sing backup for his father, but he doesn't want to show favoritism. So he's basically telling his son that he needs to audition. And as he's particularly having this conversation with his son, Bobby is shaking like he got shaking, like Muhammad Ali shaking. He was shaking for a little minute. And so I don't know if Bobby has any other health issues, allegedly, but he was definitely, shaking. And I was like, oh, and it just watching this show really seems it was just really sad. I don't know. It just made me sad. And so Bobby's in the car. He's with his kids. And so Bobby is yawning, and he's yawning a lot. And it's a game that, his wife Alicia says, Bobby, you're yawning again. You yawn all day. Kids, let's count how many times Bobby's going to yawn. And so then Bobby says, so they count his yawning because he's tired. Like, the man is not well from the reality of the show, the way they're depicting the show, the way they're depicting him. He seems to not be very healthy at this time and point. But he's an old man, like he's 75 years old, and I know some 75-year-olds still be moving and popping it, dropping it, going to the grocery store, carrying heavy bags, carrying heavy pots of potted flowers and doing their garden. I don't even think Bobby could do that because the way that they depicted him. So he goes, y'all keep playing with me, I'm gonna get y'all butt back there. And then Alicia says to him, how you gonna do that when you're out of breath? Basically, so he basically says the kids are, teasing him. He goes, y'all better quit before I get you. You know how your parents talk to you. She goes, how you gonna do that when you out of breath and you barely have any energy? So she said, basically, how you gonna do that when you barely have any energy? So basically, to me, it sounds like I felt like she was dissing Bobby, in front of the kids. He's basically saying, I'm gonna get you. And then she goes, how you gonna do that when you barely have any energy? Almost basically saying that he's powerless. Yes, thank you very much. And he is taking medication. So it's just like, thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And so I didn't think none of that was cute. So they get to the bowling alley. Guess what? At the bowling alley, guess what? Bobby's eating another nasty ass salad that don't look healthy. He's holding a salad bottle up in his hand. But yet his kids are eating chicken wings, French fries, cornbread, coleslaw, all types of fried, greasy food. But yeah, Bobby's supposed to be working on this tour, working on keeping him healthy, working on him surviving because, the things that he can't do. So Bobby's eating this salad while they eating all that fried food again. To me, that's just really low down. And he's kind of pissed off about the situation. if you really want change, you have to do it together as a unit, especially when you're his manager. So you're going to have to, take the kids outside somewhere and have, things that they can have and things that they enjoy. But at the same time, you want to raise your kids to be healthy, especially when you have the funds to buy all the healthy food and buy all the good meat, because, going to the regular grocery stores, they're selling crazy type of meat in my opinion. But in any event, either you got to go to the butcher or Whole Foods. But so they have the access to better eating and better life. And she's making the decisions with the kids to eat bad, which is causing Bobby, which Bobby's already been eating bad his whole life. And this is the outcome of what he looks like and what he can't do. And so you're teaching your kids these same behaviors when you have a prime example of someone that's, a lot of people don't know about eating healthy, but now since we're in the 21st century, we have internet, we have all types of diet plans, we have so many gurus out here that can help you with eating and teach you about eating. Or you can be on Instagram and they come up, you can be on YouTube and they come up. So some people have been raised on eating bad their whole life, that they never really heard about healthiness stuff. But in this point, it's something different. So it's almost, to me, it's like a torturing thing. He's eating this nasty salad, which the salad's not healthy, because it looks like it's not romaine, it's iceberg lettuce. Who eats iceberg lettuce? You know what I mean? After public school, I never ate no iceberg lettuce, okay? Oh, I used to hate iceberg lettuce. So this is just another point of torture to me, if you ask me. And so this is the point. Bobby gets tired. Bobby's getting tired and he's dozing off. And then Alicia, she hits him on the shoulder. Like, it was like this. You can hear it like that. Just like you can hear it. That's how she didn't hit him soft. See, if I tap myself soft, it'll sound like that. But if I go, that's the way she tapped him, that I heard it, because my face was kind of turned. I was like, what? She done smacked him on the shoulder right close to his chin to wake him up, and then the kids are calling him, the two daughters are calling him a sack potato, a couch potato. Where are they getting these words to call their father this name? So I'm just like, what's going on in this situation? So I was like, okay. But one thing is, you could tell that Bobby loves his kids. He loves these kids and he wants the best for them and he wants to be around for them. And then he suffers through guilt. And Alicia basically has been raising Bobby Brown, the whole time that they've been together. But that's what she chose and that's what she wanted. Because at the same time, he is her employer, but she's his wife and his boss and his manager. And so, so the kids are calling him a couch potato, saying, Daddy, you're always yawning, you're dozing off, you're always falling asleep. And then she hits him. And then the little girl, the little baby, I think this is Hendrix. I think it's Hendrix. With the blue shirt on. Then she starts, after mommy hits daddy, she starts like play hitting daddy in the stomach. I don't know. It just seems like, it don't seem so good. But in any event, moving on from that situation, we have Landon. He's an accountant and now he wants to, do his passion with music. And he's going to be working with his father and things of that nature. And he has a wife and 2 kids. And he's struggling to deal with the pain. But he also wants to be close to his father. And his father is giving him a shot. Or Alicia is letting him be a part of this. And this is another point. So they're having, it's an event, a charity for women, for different things. So Bobby's there, he looks nice, he's with his wife Alicia, and so he was asked what is the mission means and things of that nature. And the questions that he was previously asked by the reporter, he was answering the questions very well. He seemed so very different than he was when he was talking to his son Landon, and he was like shaking and things of that nature. So in any event, so he's answering these questions, and then that question that you seen on the screen, he was asked that question, and he looked very, intuitive and wanting to answer the question. And then Alicia, she stops the interview, and I don't know if she stopped the interview because maybe there was something wrong with Bobby answering the question, or he didn't know how to answer the question. But to me, it seemed like he was going full swing with doing a good job. And she just brings in the kids, and she goes, oh, these are my kids, these are our kids, they're going to be, walking, they're going to be a part of the situation, get a look at them, as he was trying to speak. And she just really just interrupted where he didn't even answer, unless she knew that he couldn't answer it, but it seemed like he could. And she basically, took the attention of him basically involved in a conversation to interrupt, put the kids in, and say, hey, listen, these are the kids, they're gonna be walking, take a look at them. Okay, that's enough of Bobby. So hey, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Janine Marie Littleton. Thank you so much for the super chat, stick girl. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So, that was another situation, that it just seems like, okay. So, but Alicia was also like, oh, well, Landon has to be ready. You already have your backup singers. You have this, and, he has to be, up in tip-top condition, things of that nature that she was saying to Bobby. And Bobby was like, yeah, I know he has to fit in this and that. So Landon didn't really do a good job. He didn't do a bad job in a studio session with Bobby Brown's producer or something of that nature. But Bobby said, you're going to be on a tour with me anyway. So his son is going to be on a tour with him. And, he's reminiscing about his young son that had passed, Bobby Brown Jr. So basically, that was the situation of the show. Hey, Miss T, what's going on, girl? How you doing? What's up, Norris Tony? What's up? So this was pretty, I don't know, I cried. I'm such a sucker. I'm such a baby. I don't know. I was crying through this. So I have to finish watching the biography to see what more, she's going to throw out, and what more, Bobby's going to say. But in his biography, Bobby seemed really, Bobby. But in this reality TV show, y'all, it seemed like this is the last hooray. This is the last hoorah. The way it's being, projected, and how bad his health is, and and him still not eating right and barely could move and do certain things is just, oh my God. And also, but I think Bobby, in my opinion, I think Bobby is happy. If you ask me, I think he's happy because I don't think that he thinks that he could actually have the life that he does have now if he didn't have her. I don't think he trusts in himself or believe in himself to actually, do the things that he needed to do. And she was very, determined to get his life on track so he can make that money. And, it is what it is. So yeah, it's crazy. Like, I was like, what? Like, it was sad. Like, and then you could see, I don't know, it just feels like it just feels bad. It just feels bad watching it. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. It just feels bad. It just looks like, damn. Who is she babysitting? She's babysitting Bobby. She just had kids by him. Where is it? If I can find it. It's somewhere. I'm looking for something. So, if anybody want to jump on the StreamYard and tell me your thoughts on the situation, let me know. But that's I talked about episode 1, 2, and 3. And then I also talked about the first episode of his biography. So it's only 3 episodes out so far of Every Little Step I Take. But it would be more like, okay, if he would joke back, it's just like he takes it. it doesn't seem like, he's happy about it, but at the same time, he may have put her through, not he probably put her through hell. And so now she's completely and totally in control, and she dangles over his head. Look how you could have had this life, but you couldn't have this life with nobody but me, you know? And then for Bobby to be in a car with his kid, and he has to, blow into this, device plenty of times before he starts the car, while he's driving, because so he's still drinking, basically. He's trying his best not to. So, and his son was just like, his son was like, Daddy, I'm just happy Daddy's not drinking every day. He's drinking less than less. So that means he's still drinking. Okay. So I don't know. It seems like Alicia's getting them kids ready for Hollywood. Okay. And Bobby's helping her, and Bobby wants that for his children. And you could see the good quality that Bobby has if he wasn't so strung out back then. And, you could see where he just really dropped the ball with Bobby Kristina and also Bobby Brown Jr. And, Bobby Brown's sister says that he dropped the ball because his wife kind of forced him to drop the ball. So y'all tell me what y'all think about this situation. So in any event, I will be back tonight if no one wants to get on the StreamYard, because we have Love and Marriage Huntsville coming on tonight, y'all. And it's on right now. So if no one has anything to say, jump on the StreamYard. I'm about to call it quits, and I'll be back tonight with the I'm laughing at y'all because y'all are saying some ish. I'm just like, what? And so Love and Marriage Huntsville is on right now. So I want to watch that and come back and review that for you. Out of loyalty, Bobby's with Alicia. I think she is not good for him. I feel you, Ralph. Okay, Abso, thank you. LSW, still Bobby's in love in Boston Street. Still Bobby's beyond loved in the Boston streets. Like I'm saying, like when it came to Gordon already, Mission Hill, everywhere. If Bobby would have put the word out, get this man away from my daughter, believe me, there would have been a bunch of people that was down to do it. I would have been one of them. Yeah, we hear you, Jasmine. Thank you, Jasmine. But I'm just pointing out what I see. And I also said it is difficult. It's like a child, but she chose that life. She chose him. She chose everything. She knew what he came with. And she said that you're going to listen to me. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. We're going to do this. We're going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And all this other stuff. So she chose that. It wasn't like it was surprise and he just became a drug addict or he just got addicted. No, she knew from way back when. She knew he just lost Whitney, and she married him, and she had 3 kids with him. So she was ready for all of that, and she knew what she was getting herself into. He lost that sense of humor and free spirit he had when yes, thank you. That's what it is. I think that's what really made me very sad. I think that was the saddest thing about the situation was it was just like, he would usually come back. He would say something. He's from Boston. People joke on each other. They got your mama jokes or, basically be sarcastic back. It's just like he didn't say anything. And when she reminded him of, him being ill and not doing the tour, it was just like you could tell that he just he was just like, okay. He just wanted to sink down in the chair. So, yeah. That's a good situation. But please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'll be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. My peeps, my peoples. Keep him in prayer. Yes, Lord. Smoking and drink is not good for you. You already know. Oh, it's on A&E. It's on A&E. Right now they have the biography is already done and they have the 3 episodes so far. So the biography, I didn't finish watching the biography because I didn't, I watched half of it on my other sites, but I went to the authentic site and the other sites are like 20 minutes on A&E is like 45 minutes, but there's 45 minutes with no commercials, y'all. So you can't beat that. So peace and love to all my peeps and my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building. Thank you guys for coming through. We'll be back tonight with Love and Marriage Huntsville. And we're going to talk a little bit about Miss Destiny out here being shady and Miss Letitia out here being shady, baby. And also Marceau brother being shady and everything. Destiny really chose a side, baby. It is what it is. And Miss Wanda, so far, she's going to be back on the show unless she's not asked to come back next season. So we shall see. It's going to get ugly. And then tonight, I believe the former Real Housewives of Atlanta is going to be on that show. So whatever we don't cover tonight, we're definitely going to cover tomorrow early, and then we're going to do early. I'm going to say early, try early, but we're going to cover it for the weekend's over. Then we got the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So please tune in. Please subscribe to the channel. Please share the video. Please like the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate the donations. I appreciate you guys in the chat. And thank you so much, because I don't take it for granted. You could be anywhere else, and I'm thankful that you came here to spend some time with me. So bless you and your family. Bless me and my family. And let's stay prayed up, and let's look over the people that we love that do suffer from any type of addiction, whether it's food, water, or drug abuse and things of that nature, because this made me cry. Like, it, as I was reviewing the show and talking about it, there was moments where I was about to break down in tears, because it was just really sad for me. I don't know, maybe I was looking deeper into it. Maybe I see deeper into it. Maybe because of my background and my work history, I just see so much more. But it was heartbreaking watching this, because the laughter and the smiles from Alicia was fake. And that's just all. That it is. But at the same time, she had to do what she had to do. She saved this man's life, even though it's so shady how she, even though just marrying him the same month his ex-wife died is crazy. But if she wasn't here and she wasn't the person that she was, I don't know if Bobbi would be okay. Unless, why did somebody else step up? So it is what it is. Please like the video. I shall be back. We shall talk. It was just so, I'm like, yeah, I haven't cried over a TV show in a minute. I was crying. I was so mad too at myself for crying. I was like, yo. But I understand Alicia's pain as well, what she has to deal with. But at the same time, she chose it. But there's probably a lot of things that Bobbi done did to her that wasn't called for. And this is why she's letting it out. Or unless she wants to play into the stereotype of what his family has said about her. But in any event, we shall be back. Hey, Miss T, where you go, Miss T? Go, Ralph.